Hey there folks, it's Mighty Mike here. I had a few folks ask how I was able to have the Gehl grinder change the corn and barley into cracked corn and rolled barley. So I'm going to go through a tutorial here. The reason I'm doing it this way is I do not have permission to re-upload or distribute an edited version of that grinder. So what I'm going to do is just show you what I did. It did work, and let you do it on your own if you want to. Now, a disclaimer here, I am not a modder. So there may be better ways to do this or accomplish the same thing, but I was able to get it to work, and I will show you how I was able to get it to work. The other disclaimer is, if you don't know how to edit XMLs, how to unzip your files, all of that, please don't ask me how to do that. Go watch another video to educate yourself on how to do that, and then come back and watch this. I am going to assume that you know how to do that, and so I'm not going to go through those steps and try and explain it. So please don't ask me how to do that. This is not what this video is intended to do. So with that being said, the first thing you're going to want to do is go over to the MB Farms itch.io page. They're the author of the Westby, Wisconsin map. And on this page, you'll find two files that you can download. The map, which is a great map. I'd suggest giving that a go if you haven't done so already. And then also they have the Westby Buildings unzip file. That's the one you're going to need. The Gehl 125 grinder is packaged inside of that zip file. So you can go download that and unpack it and grab the grinder. So you're going to end up with two files here. Of course, the one we're working on, the Middleburgh map file, and then you'll end up with this Gehl 125 Westby. This is the grinder that I'm using on the map on my playthrough. So the first file that you're going to edit is the Mod Description Xml, and this is the grinder mod. I went ahead and just changed the title and description here to show that this is the grinder for the cracked corn and rolled barley. And then what you're going to want to do is down here, you want to add this line in. Field types, file name equals shared field types XML. And once you add that in, save it. That is all you need to do on the Mod Description XML file. Now, on the 125.xml file, out of the grinder mod, what you want to do here on the name up here, this is under your store data. So this is what's going to show up in the game store. So I put corn grinder. You could name it whatever you want. And then down here, I just added a little description to show that it grinds corn into cracked corn. And that is just to keep it separate in case I was to ever use this mod either on another map or for another purpose. The next thing that you'll want to change in this 125 XML file is down at the field types. You're going to scroll down till you find fill unit, and then right here under field types, you see I have maize and barley. There will be other grains in here by default. You're going to delete all of those and just have maize and barley. So down under the dischargeable section, you want to make this line here field type converter name, and you want to have maize to cracked corn, and that has some underbars there. Maize underbar to underbar cracked corn. And then your default field type, you're going to have cracked corn and cracked barley. And that is all you'll need to do in the 125.xml file. The last thing you're going to need to do for the grinder is create an XML file. So what you're going to do is create a fill types XML, and it will look like this here. You'll have in your main folder, you're going to have a shared folder. You're going to have to create this, and then you're going to create this fill types XML. And what this will do, I will post this in the description so that you can copy and paste. But this fill types file will act as the converter. So you see here the converter type is maize to cracked corn, and then it's going to convert maize to cracked corn and barley to rolled barley. I have it as a 1-to-1. I figured if I put in 4,000 liters of corn, I should get out 4,000 liters of cracked corn. Just made sense. So 1-to-1 factor. And this file here, the shared fill types, that is back here on the mod description. That's why we had to add this line in here so that it pulls that file and knows what it's looking for. And then this is the converter, the maize to cracked corn on the 125 that we added. Well, that's here. This is the maize to cracked corn converter. So it's just an additional file that gives it some information on what gets converted to what. Now, there may be a better way to do that. That's how I ended up doing it. So that's the grinder. That's everything that you need to edit for the grinder. The next thing that you're going to need to edit is actually in the Middleburgh map files. So you're going to want to go to, I'll show you where you need to go. We're going to go back to the Middleburgh maps US, and then this is where you have a lot of your files here. And the one that we're going to look for here is maps_fill types. And that's going to be this XML here. So this is what talks about all of the fill types in the map. So what you're going to do is scroll all the way down here. All the way down. And I've gone too far. Okay, you're going to scroll all the way down here to about line 852. That's going to get you to the production chains. And what you're going to do is under the cracked corn, you're going to add this line right here, the textures. Because if you don't do this, you're not going to get anything in the trailers. The texture, actually what I did is, you notice it is the maize texture. There could be opportunity here to improve this to give you a cracked corn texture, but I did not want to fool with all of that. So what I did is I just scrolled back up here to the maize section. We'll find it here. Where's the maize? There we go. So I just highlighted this, Control-C to copy it, and then scrolled back down here. And under cracked corn, this section right here was not there. So I just pasted it in place there. Same exact process for the rolled barley. Went up top, grabbed the barley textures information, copy and paste down here. Super easy. I'm not going to post that in the description. I think you guys can handle that. So all the way down to the bottom of this file is the last thing that you need to do. So I added in cracked corn and rolled barley into a bunch of these categories. I put it in bulk. I also added it into the auger wagon, the train wagon, the shovel. I also put it in the silo so I could have this in silo if I want to make large batches of it. Put it in loading vehicle, and that is it. So I added it to all of those categories You can choose how you want to add it, but that's how I did it, so that you know, I really just wanted to consider it as a bulk product. It's really no different than corn or barley. It's just processed a bit. So that's everything. Save that, go into the game. You should be able to use the grinder now to process your cracked corn and your rolled barley. Well, guys, I hope you found this useful. If you did, please be sure to give the video a like. If you are a modder or have experience with this and know of a better way to do this, feel free to share that with me. I'd appreciate any feedback, as well as learning how to do this too. So, like I said before, I'm not a modder. I just know enough to be dangerous, but I was able to figure this out and get it to work. And so it does work. It may not be the most efficient method, but it does work. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.